Hello and welcome all you football fans for another installment of high school football on ysnlive.com. Ty Bartell joining you along for the call of all the action between these two rivals. The Austintown Fitch Falcons sporting a record of 5-3 against the Warren Harding Raiders sporting a record of 4-5 this evening. All-time record, the Falcons are 18-17 against the Raiders. These two are as close can be in their matchups. Last time Falcons were in Mollenkopf 2 years ago, they were victorious. Falcons won the toss. They elect to defer the kickoff for the second half, so Warren G. Harding to have opening possession. The boot away from Ruggles, and it makes its way into the end zone. A touchback. Bring it out to the 25, and the Warren G. Harding Raiders offense set to start first here at Mollenkopf. 20-plus games on the network tonight. From all the way up in Akron to Ashtabula County, down to Columbiana, we got you covered all throughout here in the Northeast. Raiders opening up out of the shotgun. McCown, the junior QB for Warren Harding. Starting, trips out to the right. Single receiver wide to the left. Looking to that near side, finding it on the slant. No good on the catch. Couldn't follow through with it. An incompletion. And from the 20 is where they'll stand. Second down. Raiders don't look like they're going to change up much, though, as far as formation is concerned. Operating again with the trips out to the right. Quarterback Coleman. One of two juniors that gets playing time here. Coleman stays out of the shotgun, getting a call from Coach Arnold, and whistle's blowing. They're going to adjust the play clock. Was winding down. Back up to 25 it goes. Coleman again out of the shotgun. Snap, a little slow getting there and into the pile. Not for much, though. Rushing attempt gets a yard on the carry. And it's 3rd and 9. Falcon defense quickly forcing a third down. Multiple backs here on the Raiders squad, and they're not afraid to utilize 4 or 5 deep. Going back for the pass, Coleman gets flushed out and gets brought down all the way close to the end zone. Falcon faithful wanting a safety, no signal yet, and they might just put him down right before the end zone. Kind of progress was stopped, and Falcons were kind of pushing him towards the end zone. That's what the officials will say. It'll be marked just past the 5. 4th down and super long, as that goes in the right direction for the Falcon defense. Back to punt now are the Raiders. Falcons defense looked good against their rival, the Boardman Spartans, last week. 36-0 winners on the road were the Falcons. As that one hauled in near the 50, DE3 makes a cut up the side of the field, finds it, and slides near the 40. And wisely thinks about postseason football opportunities and don't want to take any unnecessary hits. DE3 makes the slide after gaining an extra 10. Falcons in Harding territory at their 40 to start their first offensive drive of this one. Just under 10.5 minutes to go. Quarter number 1 here from Mollenkopf Stadium. Deshaun Vaughn, but DeAndre Richard is back. Broken collarbone for DJ Williams last week against the Spartans. Done for the season for the superstar senior back. Go to the screenplay. Warren Harding snuffed it out. And near the far side of the field, keeping the Falcons near the line of scrimmage, maybe even a loss of a yard. 2nd down and long coming up. Falcons break. Talk about the injury to DJ Williams. DeAndre Richards been the number 2 back, secondary back, freshman, and he's made use of his minutes. Gets a carry here, tries to cut it up the field, finding a gap, but it closed up real quickly. Got maybe 2 on it to the 40, and Fitch at risk of a 3 and out with great field position to start. 3rd down and 9 now for the Falcons. Some substitutions coming in for the Raiders. Fitch breaking the huddle. Whistles were blown temporarily. And a substitution coming in for Falcons. Mandatory substitution, I think. Done for one play. They had to make a quick substitution on the fly. Entering in near side of the field, that's 53, Jaden Wallace, the sophomore. Vaughn enters with empty backfield, 5 receivers set, 3 off to his right in trips formation, close to the near side of the field. Taking the snap, looking to break out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Vaughn rolls back to the 50, turns back around, fires, finds Perry near the 50, and Perry, all he can muster up is maybe another gain of a yard or 2, diving past the 40. So all the movement for a minuscule gain for the Falcons, and it's 4th down. So both defenses holding strong on the first offensive drives for both squads. Falcons not looking quick to bring out the punter, Ruggles. And, of course, in Raider territory, this is kind of an awkward area for it. Vaughn also a listed punter, so he is back as the punter in the formation. Provides some versatility. Flag came out on the snap. The punt rolls its way into the 10. Raiders looking for a nice return, cutting up the field. Nicely done by Coleman Bev, and Coleman Bev gets tackled down near that 40. As Deshaun Vaughn had to make the tackle, but we had to see what the flag is on. Conferring in the middle of the field. We wait for the call. I believe it might be going against the Raiders. They are going to talk with the Falcons. The flag did come from the Raiders' defensive backfield, but we will see what the call was. Flag was picked up near that 40. Falcon offense looks like it's staying on, so that was against the Raiders, I believe. Let's double check, though. We still haven't gotten word, I don't. So a 5-yard penalty against the Raiders, and it brings up, or a 5-yard penalty, excuse me, against the Falcons, added on to the end of it, rather. So the Falcons, or the Raiders, rather, go from the 43 to the 48, just near that midfield. Offsides call was on the Falcons. Raiders go to the ground game, didn't find it, went to the outside, past the 50. Nice job of repurposing the momentum from an inside run to an outside run, finding some yardage on the first down carry. Eating up close to about half of what was needed. Looks like a 4-yard gainer. Jazz Goldman again on the handoff attempt. Pushes closer to the first down marker, but not quite there. Still about half the distance of a first down. Needed 5. Looks like Weaver out there as they're running back for the Raiders. Along with Chaz Coleman out of the backfield. One into motion. Coleman keeps it himself, tries to go forward with it, but the Falcons there to make a tackle. Flag coming in late. As of right now, listed as a 4th down on the Raiders, but we'll see what this call is on. And it looks like a favorable one for the Raiders, considering where everyone's moving on the field. So a 5-yard penalty addressed on the Falcons, pushing the Raiders forward for a first. A friendly penalty for Warren Harding has him operating in Falcon territory with a fresh set of downs. The snap, 5-step drop, looks to pass down near side of the field, a misfire. And it's 2nd down. Intended target that time was number 8, Kamari Adams. Adams, one of the senior receivers on this Harding squad. Couldn't find him, lost down. 2nd and 10 for the Raiders. Raiders, like the Falcons in their previous drive with good field position, looking to capitalize on it. The play action fake, Coleman, nice find down the field past the 40 and getting about half the yardage on the strike. And that one went to 14, Ajit Jones, another one of the seniors, going to the experienced players on this drive in the passing game. Finding the completion, 5 more to go for the Raiders. 3rd down coming up. Potentially 4-down territory, though, for Warren Harding on this side of the field. Out there with Antonio Smith, senior running back. Smith sitting on that right hip of Coleman. Coleman, 2-step drop, goes over the middle. Oh, another fine, and Coleman, a string of completions. That time he went to number 8, Kamari Adams. And Kamari Adams finds another 1st down for the Raiders as they get right on the cusp of the Falcon red zone. Raiders checking off at the sideline, getting the call. 2 receivers each way for Coleman. Smith in the backfield with him. Adams in motion. Handoff goes to Smith. Smith tries to cut it up the middle, finds maybe a yard or 2 on the carry. 2nd down coming up. Falcons trying to minimize the running game. And they've done a pretty good job at that, as Raiders finding a lot of their yards through this drive in the air. Similar looking set again for the Raiders offense. 1 going into motion again. Looking to the left side, chased out to the right, rolling is Coleman. Coleman has to get rid of it, intercepted by the Falcons near the 25, up the field, pushed out of bounds. It was number 33, Dylan Crone, the sophomore linebacker, sitting back, reading the quarterback really well that time. Coleman, as he was flushed out, rolling to the far side of the field. Crone read it, intercepted it. Turnover for the Falcons. Now they'll take over on offense. Falcon defense did a great job last week against the Spartans, creating turnovers, and they do so here in the 1st quarter. Five-plus minutes and counting here in quarter number 1. Still no score from Mollenkopf Stadium. Taking the snap, handing it off. Freshman Richard goes right to the pile and is pushed back after a gain of 2. Richard, minimal gain on the run. Both these teams committed to stopping the run early, and they're doing a pretty solid job at it. Neither offense finding much traction in that game early on. We've had some concerning clouds that are right over the horizon of Mollenkopf Stadium. Threat of rain all around the area. It might stay clear from us here at Warren, Ohio. We will see, though. Clouds are essentially just black out in the distance. You see some blue sky peeking through, but not much. Vaughn rolls out to his right, finds down the field. Oh, a nice find it was. Perry rolling down on the streak route, pushed out of bounds. as Perry found down the field and a deep strike by Vaughn, and that is Vaughn's bread and butter. When he is able to roll out of the pocket, utilize those legs a little bit, get it on the run, he is really dangerous in that game. Stays in the pocket, goes for the streak, down it, tried for the one-handed catch. No grab, though, to Allen Hill, the target. Try to go for your big man, Allen Hill, out there deep. No fine, though. Or the Falcons senior. Senior to sophomore attempted on that connection. 4:20 left to go. First quarter of play. Second down and 10 for Fitch. One into motion. Dan Evans the third. Handoff goes to Richard. Richard, no running room again. The Raiders are in the backfield to stop him. Again, running game. Not finding anything. And third down coming up for the Falcons. In field goal range at the 20 for Anthony Ruggles, but it would be a 37-yard attempt from there. The Falcons would love to try to get on the board first, but a dangerous distance field goal to try this early on. Attempting the screen game. Find it up the field. Nice job on the screen try. Loss of the football, though. It was loose. Did the Raiders jump on it? They did. A fumble recovery for Warren Harding in the Falcon red zone, and both teams exchange a turnover, and the Raiders will take over at the 10. You can tell both these teams playing for their playoff lives because, quite frankly, they are. Both these teams sit in Division II, the Region 5 bracket. And, of course, OHSAA top 16 teams make it from each region. Right now, Harding, number 11, Austintown Fitch, number 10. A win for Fitch could potentially give them a home field advantage in the first round of the playoffs next week. But a loss for either team could almost guarantee one of them is going to go out in the Raiders. And for the Falcons, they have the potential of missing the playoffs as well completely if some chips don't fall their way tonight. Snap, handoff, trying to find it in the ground game, and one of the better runs of the night. And it comes from the Warren Harding Raiders up past the 15. Looks like they're stopping them near the 16, potentially 17. First down carry gets 6 for Warren Harding. Both these teams going to stay diligent. You feel on the rushing attack. They really want that rushing attack to at least find some semblance of success so you could start building the passing attack off of it. Back to the ground game again. Falcons keep it right there, trying to avoid a first. They do. Push it back. Third down coming up for Warren Harding. 2:50 and ticking. First quarter of play, and it's been a defensive chess match. 3rd and 3 for the Raiders. They're looking for a big first down conversion. From the 17, they're looking for the 20, their own. 3 options spread out wide to the right of Coleman, 1 to the left on the near side. Has Smith on his right hip. Call coming from Coach Arnold and the staff, far side of the field. Getting his call, relaying it to the line, Coleman. The snap, whistles blown prior to, and a timeout being called by Coach Arnold and the Raiders. First one taken by either team leaves the Raiders with 2, Fitch with 3 in the first half. We're going to take a quick timeout as well. Be back after this. Ty Bartell, YSNLive.com, with all the action of the Warren Harding Raiders and the Austintown Fitch Falcons.
Going from mindful to mindful sometimes requires a helping, healing hand. Insight Clinical Counseling and Wellness offers a continuum of mental health and wellness care.
At Insight, we're changing the way you receive counseling and wellness services with experienced licensed clinicians and expertly trained wellness staff.
With locations across 3 counties and telehealth services, Insight offers clients quick access to care when they need it most.
Transform your mental health and wellness at Insight Clinical Counseling and Wellness.
How do you feel when you wake up? After a long day at work, what gets recharged more, you or your phone? calm your mind, relax your body. You deserve it. With prices starting as low as $4,000, anyone can afford the spa of their dreams at Burnett Pool Spas and Hot Tubs.
Burnett Pools, we've got it all.
Well, folks, we were about to come back, but as soon as we came out, the Raiders came out with, what would you call it? Instead of trips, they had quadruplets, I guess. 4 receivers out to the far side of the field. Coach Parker of the Falcons didn't like the formation he was seeing. He called a counter timeout, so the Falcons utilizing their first. Both teams left with 2. We're going to take a real quick break again. This time we're thanking our friends over at NST. Welcome back, everybody. Raiders again coming out with that 4-receiver set off to the far side to Coleman's right. Single one out to the left near side. Empty backfield with Coleman sitting there by his lonesome out of the shotgun. Snap for Coleman. Far side screen pass strike. He goes up the field finding some yardage and past the 20 for a first down. Warren G. Harding. Looked like that went to Ariz Coleman Bay. As Bay with the reception, and Coleman Bay past the line to gain. Fresh set of downs for the Raiders. Back to the ground game they go. Smith bumping bodies. Nicely done. Up past the 35 on the carry. Check that. Ryan Powell, rather, on the carry. Switched it up last second from Smith to Powell. And Powell, one of a couple Powells that running backs on this team, but he's been finding production ever since his sophomore year. Really had a nice pair of games against the Falcons. Back in that 2020 season, he was crucial in that one. Back to the ground game. Powell again has always had success against Austintown Fitch, and he's finding it again. A 5-yard carry off the rip. Second down and 5. Final minute approaching us here of play in the first quarter. Trips formation to the right for Chaz Coleman. Powell again on that right hip of Coleman. He's also got that single receiver on the near side. Carey tries to go on the inside of the pile and found a minimal gain of maybe 2. Third down and 3 now for Warren Harding. Raiders quick to make some substitutions. Powell now swaps over to the left hip of Coleman. One receiver each way. Strong formation. Coleman takes it himself, just goes to the pile and finds a first down. Near the midfield marker, they're going to be about a yard short, still staying in Harding territory, but the Raiders find another first and attempt to work their way into Falcon territory as the first quarter of play has come to an end here from Mollenkopf Stadium, and we have no score. It's Austintown Fitch. It's Warren G. Harding, scoreless after 1. Quarter number 2 with Ty Bartel, ysnlive.com after this.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Hope looks different for everyone. It's a doctor who takes the time to understand. It's a listening ear when you need one most. The power of care is nothing without hope, and every service we offer is created with true healing in mind. Find your hope at Meridian.
Start of the second quarter here from Mollenkopf Stadium. The Raiders have the ball, looking to get into Falcon territory. We swap sides of the field. Raiders near the midfield, first down and 10 for Warren Harding. Coleman with one in the backfield. Behind him, the handoff with the head start into the pile, pushed back and nowhere to be found after initial contact. But a face mask, it looks like, going to be called against the Falcons. At least that was the motion, signaling after the flag, and it is against the Falcons. Third one against Fitch in this first half. And a gift 15 for the Raiders pushes them into very friendly territory, operating now at the Falcon 36. Raiders trying to take advantage of the short field. Raiders single receiver option each side for Coleman. Jazz Coleman looking to pass, finds the streak route down the field. It's broken up. Nicely done defensively on that streak down the near side of the field. I believe it was Dan Evans III and Vaughn. Dan Evans on the coverage. Vaughn came in late a little bit to help, but Evans played really good coverage down the field, and DE3 stops a big play from occurring. Raiders look similar formation, snap kind of high, goes to the handoff, through the pile, finds an opening down the field. It's a touchdown. And it looked like that was DeAndre Thomas who took the handoff. And the rush into the end zone for the touchdown. Harding strikes first for 6. Check that. Javonte Jones, the carry for the touchdown. And Jones, like we said, this Raiders team utilizes multiple backs in the set. We've seen Powell, we've seen Smith. 4-5 deep oftentimes are the Raiders as the kick attempt is pushed through the uprights and mark it 7-0 Warren Harding. They strike first off the rushing touchdown that time by Javonte Jones. Take a 7-0 lead as we'll go back into a kickoff, 11:27 to go here in the second quarter. Ty Bartell, YSNLive.com. We're back after this.
The environment in the hospital can be very intense for a patient. Being able to put a smile on their face brightens up my day. I go to Youngstown State University and my passion is nursing. What I love about studying nursing is that it takes you out of the classroom and into the lab. It's really hands-on. The professors here push you to be your absolute best, so if you want it, you gotta work hard for it. I am so excited about my future. I'm Shantiana, and I am why I'm proud.
Jake Dougherty for the kickoff. The Raiders senior kicker ready to boot it away. Dan Evans III, Davion Pritchard ready to receive the kickoff for the Falcons. And the kick goes off of Fitch and jumping on it at the 30 that time. Harding opted to go for the squib. And the Falcons will get a little bit more yards. They'll get it to the 30, but a flag coming out late now from the near side. And this may go against the Raiders, and I think it is the way it's being signaled. So the flag being picked up, rather. So the Falcons do take over now, just inside the 30. Falcons now trail it by 7. And Vaughn comes out with Richard. All the receivers off to that near side. Pass goes to Richard, but Richard can't keep his feet and is touched down at the 25, loss of yardage on first. 2nd and 14 brought up now for the Falcons. Falcons were rolling in that last drive before the fumble at the 10 kind of derailed everything. Trying to get back on track offensively. They go jet sweep try to Dan Evans III, get it to the speedy player, and he's able to get maybe those 5 yards back and an additional one after that. 3rd and 9 it looks like coming up for Fitch. Call it 3rd and 8 rather. Under 10 and a half to go. First half of play, Raiders lead it by 7. Falcons would receive the kickoff in the 3rd quarter, important to note, as time starts winding down here in the 2nd quarter. Falcons, again, a similar set. Haven't really changed things up much look-wise on the offensive side. Pass goes to the middle. Perry at the 40. Fights for the extra yards, guarantees the first down. Dom Perry. As Dominic Perry, the junior, has consistently found production this year as well as last season. Perry becoming a favorite target in this game early on. First down for Fitch and a big one. Falcons would love to respond on the offensive side and get that touchdown back. Raiders defense has started to seal it up with less field behind them defensively. As the Falcons push further into Raider territory, Raiders have made it increasingly difficult. Vaughn will get it up the middle for a gain of a few yardage. And for Vaughn and the Falcons, you take what you can get on that, as the Raiders were flushing him out really quickly, and that was about the only thing Vaughn can do. You just take the positive yards on the play. 2nd down and 8. Falcons need to get just past midfield to get the first. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Vaughn. Richard now moves to his right hip. Vaughn with the eye-high snap, pass down the field, and a perfectly broken up pass that time. Going on the curl attempt to Perry, and the defensive breakup brings up 3rd down. I believe that was Coleman Bay, if I'm not mistaken, that broke it up, the junior. Oh, nice job by the defensive back that time. Getting in the middle of the passing lane and thwarting it. 3rd down coming up for Fitch. Falcons converting 1 3rd down on this drive already. Empty backfield. Vaughn has to break out, rush out to his right, and trying to stay on his feet. They're looking for a horse collar, didn't get it. And fourth down coming up for the Falcons, a gain of a few more on fourth. Half the yardage needed, but it's 4th and 4 now. Falcons gonna punt it away from inside that 50. Vaughn coming out to punt. Well, they're going to utilize Vaughn in this situation. And whistles being blown. Harding taking a timeout, wanting to check off a few things. Don't want to get caught sleeping. Second timeout taken of the half for the Raiders. They're left with 1. Falcons left with 2. We'll take a real quick break with Warren Harding and thank our friends this time at WFMJ.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
More pockets of rain as we go throughout our
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Back here in the punt attempt coming from the Falcons as Vaughn boots into it, bounce near the 30, and it goes out by the 25, and the Raiders to take over there offensively. 7 minutes, a little over that, 7:49 here in quarter number 2, first half. Raiders up 7-0, trying to pad that lead by a couple possessions prior to the end of the half. Harding going to be at that 28 officially. Trips formation out to the left. One now into motion for the Raiders. Handoff goes up the middle to the 30 and pushed back. It's a gain of 2 on first down. As Xavier Don makes the tackle, the big man up the middle. Falcons showing blitz, and the Raiders might be changing up the call on the fly. 2 each way for Coleman. 1 into motion. Coleman looking down the near side, over the middle, through the coverage. Nice job done by Coleman, and past the 50 are the Raiders. Actually, they're going to say went out just before it. So still on Raiders' side of the field, but it's a first down. Raiders passing game, finding it right now. As Chaz Coleman keeps himself, and Coleman, no running room really that time. He got a yard, it looks like. Second down and 9. Raiders shifting a couple receivers. Ariz, Coleman, Bay. Moving him over to the far side of the field. Again, showing trips, but they've been putting one into motion Oftentimes, these last couple drives, Coleman, 7-step drop, now rolling out near side of the field to his right, toss on the run, and a perfect find down the field. What a grab near the 10 on the run, and it was number 9, Reese Coleman Bay. They shifted him for a reason, and he comes up big with the catch. And nice accuracy by Chaz Coleman on the run to find the pass completion. Raiders knocking on the door of another score. Handoff up the middle, stopped, but not before getting past the 5 on the carry, Ryan Powell. 2nd and goal, half the yardage eaten up on the carry. And they go back to it, and another touchdown by the Raiders. And the Raiders jumping all over the Falcons early on. It's 13-0 the lead. As Doherty, back for the kick, 1-for-1 extra point territory today. Snap down, kick is blocked though by the Falcons, taken up by Vaughn, but rolled dead right there as the the extra point kick blocked, and the score will stay a 13-0 advantage. But the Raiders add on to their lead, 13-0 at 5:23 left to go in the first half. Falcons receive the second half kickoff, looking to go 2-for-1. We'll be back with the kickoff here of the Falcons after this.
Your grandmother's fine china, those trendy sneakers, your collection of hand-carved duck decoys. Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Holloway Insurance in Columbiana and Lisbon if Auto Owners make sense for you.
Oh, now you do your job.
Back ready for the kickoff. Dan Evans the third and Davion Pritchard. Raiders not likely to give him a chance. They went the short way last time, trying to take the scoring capabilities of both DE3 and Davion Pritchard out of the equation. It'll go squibbed down to the 10. Pritchard tries to make the cut up the field, but is tackled inside the 10. And a big field in front of Fitch for this next offensive drive. But a penalty coming on the play. I hear you. So penalty that time, and it was on a face mask penalty of the Raiders. So that'll push the Falcons forward 15. Some friendly yards for the Falcons. Actually, I think that's the first penalty that has gone against the Raiders today. So Raiders playing a more disciplined first half. They go to Richard. Richard makes a cut back, and he's going to regret it. Pushed back for a loss of yards on first down. We're under 5 minutes to play. First half, second and 13 for Fitch. It's been all Warren Harding here in the half, 13-0. Snap, pressure coming. They get rid of it quickly. Richard into the flat. Richard up the field. Flag coming in a little late, but Richard got past the 30. It would be enough, I believe, for a first down if it stands, but we have to see who the flag is on. As it was happening as they were running down the field, you could get a holding call here. You could get unnecessary roughness. You could get face mask, but I think by the body language of the Raiders, it's against the Falcons, and it is. And a repeat of second down, a loss of yardage. Big yardage on the play. That would have been a first for the Falcons. Now second down. And even longer now for Fitch. So it was a holding penalty that brings up second down and 20. 4:34 left to go. Half number one, Falcons. A lot of yards they need to make up. They got to get past that 30. Sitting inside the 15, Falcons. Vaughn looking to pass. Now breaks out near side, rushing for the edge to the 20, tackled out of bounds at the 20. Trying to get some of those yards back, and Falcons able to get a nice gain on second, but it's now third down and 14, and a scrum coming out from the near side of the field. Pushing and shoving coming, flags out on two sides. Potential ejections might be coming right now. Some extracurriculars being given by the Harding Raiders to the Falcons after the stop that time. We'll have to see what's going to come out of all of this, but no doubt penalties going to be addressed to both teams. We'll have to see if there's any ejections, though, coming following it. Coach Arnold and the entire Raiders coaching staff, you got to credit them, though, came sprinting out onto the field to try to defuse the whole situation. It's what you want to see coaching staffs do, not encouraging it, but rather trying to defuse it, and that's exactly what both sides tried to do. They did a really good job because we've seen it turn out quite worse in other areas too, so minimizing what could have been a way worse situation, but now the officials got to sort out all the penalties to be addressed in how they want to handle this going forward. Sometimes you'll see the officiating crews in these situations try to send a strong message, and that's why ejections could come of this early on, trying to let both teams know they ain't going to be taking any of this going forward. Comes with the territory of competition, though, and we see it happen with grown men in the big leagues. We see it at the college level. It's bound to happen for these youngsters at the high school level. You get caught up in the competition, the excitement, and sometimes it just takes over, and you get a little bit out of hand with the celebration and the excitement. Coaching staffs doing a good job lecturing both their teams for corrective action. One official talking with Coach Parker and staff, and it looks like they're got one over there by the Warren Harding side. So all that, and we got offsetting unsportsmanlike penalties. We knew that was going to come. The big question was if there was going to be. They're both getting unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. No ejections coming from the little bit of a scrum that occurred on the Falcons sideline near the bench. Fitch going to be stopped up near the 20. At least that's where the quarterback, Deshaun Vaughn, got pushed out. So it's going to still be 3rd down and long for the Falcons, but no doubt tension beginning to rise here at Mollenkopf Stadium between these two. Falcon faithful trying to get the Austintown Fitch Falcons back into it. Third down and 6. Coming up for Austintown. They actually marked them even further than I originally thought. Stayed in bounds, did Vaughn, all the way up to the 27. Falcons, very achievable 3rd down if they could find something to go their way. Falcons really need some offense. We got a few ticks over 4 minutes to go in the first half. Don't really want to give it back up to the Raiders for a chance for Warren Harding to go up 3 possessions. The snap, 3-step drop. Vaughn looking to step up in the pocket, decides to take off. Vaughn looking for the first, goes to slide. He's very close to the marker. It all depends on the mark. Where are they going to put him? Good job by Vaughn. He felt it at the last second, decided to take off. And he got very close to the first, but they're saying 4th, just shy, and it's by maybe a full yard. And the Falcons not going to be aggressive, going to attempt the punt here. And they're going to actually put it in the hands of Anthony Ruggles. Ruggles trying to swap field position here. And whistle being blown all the way from the defensive backfield. And they're going to say push the play clock back up to 40. And they do. Good catch on that. Ruggles from the 20. Takes in the snap. Puts a boot into it. Travels just in front of the 35. Trying to go full head of steam past the 50, carrying Falcons into their own territory. The Raiders looking to get another score on the board prior to the end of the half. Sitting just over 3 minutes of play here in half number 1, and the Warren G. Harding Raiders trying to go up by at least another score prior to the half. Looking to send a strong statement to Fitch. Sending one into motion. Coleman hands it off there. Trick play. Oh, what a sack coming from the weak side. Strong side, rather, but tried to go with the trick play, but not to be had that time. And all the way in for the sack, Alex Hill from the strong side, but they didn't see him coming. Eyes should have been locked on him, and Hill putting a hurting on the trick play attempt, backing it up past the 50. 2nd and 19 now for the Raiders as we tick under 3 to play, 2.5 and ticking. And a whistle blown for a timeout. And the timeout being taken by the Raiders. That's their final of the first half. Falcons going to be left with 2:35 remaining here in the second quarter. Ty Bartel, YSNLive.com. We'll be back after this. Raiders 13, Falcons nothing.
Hope looks different for everyone. It's a doctor who takes the time to understand. It's a listening ear when you need one most. The power of care is nothing without hope. And every service we offer is created with true healing in mind. Find your hope at Meridian.
Raiders with a 2nd and 19, going to the ground game, trying to slip tackles. Powell finds the edge and the first. What a carry by Ryan Powell. And he is a difference maker when he goes up against this Falcons squad. One run and the 19 yards erased. First down at the 25, the carry. Trying to carve up the middle and stopped at the 25. Second and 9, we're under 2 minutes to play first half. Fake on the handoff, play action try. Coleman strips up. Oh, and a big hit laid on him at the 25. Maybe another yard on it. Third down, 9. Third down, 8.5. Minute 24 and ticking. First half of play, Falcons set to get the ball in the third quarter. But the Raiders looking for one more score prior to the half. Trips out to the left of Coleman, single receiver to his right. 5-step drop, flushed out. Hill getting on him. Oh, and a nice job at the shoelace tackle near the 40. Another sack of the Raiders and a quick timeout being called by the Falcons. Fourth down, and Fitch looking to get the ball back. A tick under a minute, 59 seconds left in the half. Fitch trying to get a quick score on the board prior to. And a big loss, no doubt, sets up, you would think, figure a punting opportunity here for the Raiders as the first down marker all the way near that 16-yard line for Warren Harding, and they're backed up near the 40. Fourth down and 21 to be exact, the exact down and distance for Warren Harding. Back-to-back sacks by the Falcon defense push Warren Harding out of field goal range likely. I know their senior kicker Doherty, a very good one, but even for him, that would be a 54-yard attempt. But Harding, looks like they are bringing out the kicker, but doubles as a kicker punter, and he is going to come out in the punting formation. 59 seconds to go. Falcons have one timeout remaining, also slated to get the ball back in the third quarter. Punt goes really high and has to get the punt off in time. He does. Doherty, as the ball rolls inside the 15, and another tie-up in the backfield. Defense and offense, and it was between the kicker that time of the Raiders, and on the other side, Marinelli for the Falcons, tied up, hands in the face of one another, and this one becoming physical before our very eyes. Tensions continuing to rise here at Mollenkopf Stadium, and they're bringing out the 5-0 to keep everything in order now. Couple flags come in. You would think this is going to be offsetting unsportsmanlike penalties again. And it is ruled unsportsmanlike conduct, both sides offsetting penalties. So it's going to be first down, Fitch. But now the Falcons tasked with trying to get some offense before the half. They're only going to have seconds to do so. Looks like 48 it reads on our game clock. And talks with the head referee and Coach Arnold just by that 45-yard line. As emotions getting the best of both sides' players in this one. And now, head referee coming out to Coach Parker and staff to have a conversation with him. And you got to feel like the nature of this conversation between head coaches and the officials is going to be surrounding the, we can't be having this happen continuously. And a flag coming out against Coach Parker, it looks like, and that was after the discussion. And we get the official call. So the flag comes out, and it's a 15-yard penalty against the Falcons. So Fitch going to be spotted at the 7. First and 16. Half the distance of the goal it was measured up as from the spot. And going to just take the knee and get it into halftime. It looks like one more knee going to need to be taken prior to. And they say push the play clock back up to 40 for it to start rolling. And one more knee should send us to half. And actually, no, from the time it started, it looks like they're not even going to make them take the snap. And we're going to roll this one into halftime. The Raiders have pitched a shutout through one half of play. 13-0, they lead it going into the halftime locker room. The Austintown Fitch Falcons slated to get the kickoff in the third quarter, looking for some offense. Tension starting to rise on sportsmanlike penalties being called on both sides as this one surely cooking up an interesting second half of play around the corner. We got a halftime break here for you in which we will allow the bands of both the Warren G. Harding Raiders and the Austintown Fitch Falcons to be on full display as we give the spotlight to the marching bands that work oh so hard throughout the year to bring the best on Friday Night Lights as far as their performances are concerned. So please enjoy these halftime performances by both the Austintown Fitch Falcons and the Warren G. Harding Raiders marching bands.
We proudly present to you the 2023-2024 Austintown Fitch Marching Band. The band is led on the field by drumline captains Ariana Borges and Matthew Smith, flag line captain Audrey Clark, rifle line co-captains Elizabeth Spalding and Megan Ballard, color guard captain Anastasia Walker, senior drum major Jared Giovanone, and junior drum major Mitchell Wood. This evening's halftime performance will showcase music selected by the class of 2024, and marching the news is written by a senior drum major, Jared Giovanone. The band steps off with the official march of the Marine Corps, Semper Fidelis. final position continues with the color guard presentation of the American flag as the band concludes with our national march, the Stars and Stripes Forever. Fitch Band would like to thank everyone for their continued support, and we wish the best of luck to Coach Parker and our Fitch Falcon football team in the second half. Go Falcons, march on! Gentlemen, tonight we present the 2022 Labor Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Reed Young and Heather Stoney. Summer assistants include John Fitch, Kaylee Hall, Kristen Richter, Melanie Brad, and Antoine Howard. Our major instructors are Marissa Leslie and Gabby Kim. Flatline instructors are Celeste Harris and Mariah Cooper. Second instructors are Brian Yager and George Ringo. The band is led onto the field by field commander Jane Harris, Amari Jackson, Grace John Pierce, and head drummer Elise Vaughn. The Raider Band is proud to present our 2023 show entitled Empowered, featuring a variety of hit songs we know you'll enjoy with soloists Chris Ramsey, Michaela Eisenberg, and Sarah Bell. Here is Shine Down. our Major Wrestling flagliner featured for this 1975 hit from the group Earth, Wind, and Fire. Here, sing a song. We'd like to thank all of you for being a wonderful audience tonight. Now join us as we cheer our Raider team. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, the 2023 World T. Harding Raider Marching Band.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Going the extra mile at Greenwood Chevrolet means we want to take care of the community that takes care of us too.
And we have to work together always. And that's how you stay in business for 40 years.
You know, I love being a helper because when I help somebody, it makes me feel good.
It means a lot that I can make a difference in others' lives.
So I will do everything I can and just being there for them every step of the way.
I want them to know within the first 5 minutes that they could depend on me. That's what going the extra mile means, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Before the lights come on, before the workday begins, before a long day is ended, or it's time to have fun. It all starts with the people at Joe Dickey Electric. From replacing a light fixture in your home to building a substation for your business, no job is too big or too small. The people of Joe Dickey Electric power them all. Joe Dickey Electric, over 60 years of powering the Mahoning Valley.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Clint. Hi, this is Steve Versetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University and proud.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Nestled here in the beauty and splendor of Mill Creek Metro Parks are two of America's best golf courses, as selected by Golf Week magazine. Ranked number 9 in Ohio by TripAdvisor.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the start of quarter number 3, second half here from Mollenkoff Stadium between the Warren Harding Raiders and the Austintown Fitch Falcons. Harding, all Raiders actually in that first half, 13-0. Warren Harding went a full 24 minutes leading. First score coming late in that first quarter, and Harding held that 7-0 lead up until second score coming in the early portions of the second quarter, 13-0 since that point. Falcons to receive the opening kickoff here of the second half. And it's aimed for the end zone, and it's going to be recovered near the 1. Dan Evans, the third, changes direction, switches it up, tries to get close to the 10, and he's going to be tackled shy. Nice kick, nice placement, forcing the Falcons to have to recover it just in front of the end zone. and make something happen. So a long field in front of Fitch looking for their first score of this one, and almost feel like you need it, even though you got a lot of time the whole second half. But you really don't want to give the ball back to the Raiders without points going on that scoreboard. Raiders playing with a ton of momentum, a lot of tension in that first half. A lot of pushing and shoving exchanges. 4 unsportsmanlike penalties were called. Actually 5, I should say. 3 on the Falcons, 2 on the Raiders in half number 1. Vaughn with the 4 receiver set, 2 each way. Snap, fake on the handoff, screen pass. It's a misfire to Dan Evans the third. 2nd down and 10. Falcons receiving their call from the near sideline. Vaughn, snap, keeper himself on the fake handoff, looking for the edge. Vaughn angles himself out just prior to that 15. Looks like he went out at that 13-yard line. Gain of a few, but it's 3rd down. And about half the yardage got that time. 4 out of the 10 possible. 3rd and 6 coming up. And Falcons in danger of going 3 and out to start the half. Needing something to connect offensively here. Spreading things out with 3 receivers near side to the right of Vaughn. Vaughn looks that way, goes over the middle, finds Brady Evans, slipping a tackle and falling forward for a few extra. 1st down, Fitch. And the young Brady Evans, the target on that one. Brady Evans just a sophomore, but he's starting to really make a name for himself on this Falcons squad and looks to be a hot target for future seasons here at Fitch. Switch it to a 3 receiver set. Single tight end, 1 back behind Vaughn. That's DeAndre Richard. Carry goes to him. Richard looking for some running space. Gets to the 25 for a few yards on the carry. 2nd down coming up. That's one area of the game that the Falcons really want to get rolling, is that running game. Not a ton of yardage coming off that rushing attack. And it's hurt Fitch to this point. Falcons with a 2nd and 8 set up. Bunched up set, single receiver each way for Vaughn. Richard on his right hip. Handoff back to Richard. Hole created past the 25. Flag comes out as Richard with the 2nd effort gets shy of the 30. See who this one's against. Flag coming from the line judge on the near side. As we wait for the call. Face mask against the Raiders, so a friendly call for the Falcons. Pushes Fitch forward 15 extra. 1 against each team now, as we said. It's been a physical one to this point. Both these teams showcasing just how much they want this one. Falcons looking for a score. They're spotted at the 44-yard line. 1st down for Fitch. 3 receivers all to the left. 1 into motion. That's DeAndre Richard. Keeper rolling right. Vaughn can't find a hole. Keeping him right there near the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a half yard, if that. It's 2nd down. Officially no gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Falcons attempting to cross midfield into Harding territory. The 1st down marker is in Harding territory at their 46-yard line. Falcons again with a tight formation. Trips, though, off to the left. Fake on the handoff, play action, roll out to the left, in his face, back to the right, blocking there to help Vaughn out. He's going to get himself back to the original line of scrimmage, but no further. 3rd down and 10 coming up. Raiders have done a great job creating pressure on Vaughn, as not a lot of time to sit in that pocket and look for a passing attempt. Vaughn had to roll out of the pocket. He went one way, pumped the brakes, flipped on the reverse, went the other way, and by the time he got back to the line of scrimmage, the Raiders did a good job keeping them in front. Raiders forcing the 3rd and 10. Falcons looking for another conversion. They're going to have 4 receivers, 2 each way. Moving up to the left hip, Richard. Out of the shotgun, taking the snap, 3-step drop. Vaughn looking for a target, goes down the middle of the field, finds it near the 40. 1st down catch for Fitch, and the target caught by Brady Evans. Once again, Brady Evans gets a big 3rd down conversion catch. And now it's 1st and 10 for Fitch. Right back into the pass game. Whistles blown prior to, though, and a penalty coming out. Came from behind the Raiders' defensive backfield, but I think this might go against the Falcons. Let's see. No, they're saying, I think, offsides, and it is on the Raiders. Offsides on Harding. So the Falcons working quick, got a free 5 from Harding. 1st and 5 now for Fitch at the 45. 35, check me. Need to go from the 35 to the 30 for a 1st down. Trips to the near side of Vaughn. He looks that way, fires that way. Oh, wide open down the near sideline, going right to the end zone, touchdown. And the Falcons. No, hold on, maybe. They say pushed out shy, and they did actually just miss the touchdown. They say stepped out of bounds. He was riding close to that near sideline, but the whistle coming in late and actually pushed out just in front of that 15. So wave off the touchdown. 1st and 10, though, for the Falcons at the 17. Go to the ground game. DeAndre Richard looking for some positive yards. He'll bulldoze past the 15. Looked like C.J. Shaw was on the catch, too, for the Falcons. From that 13-yard line, 2nd down and 7. Fitch, eyes on the end zone, looking to cut this deficit in half. Oh, a mishandle on the snap, and Vaughn goes down on the fumble recovery. And back to the 25. Warren Harding pushing the Falcons back on a mammoth loss to the 25, and now Fitch has a long field in front of him for 3rd down. 3rd and 16 to be exact. Another key mistake for the Falcons, and it hasn't helped them out to this point. Trying to recover and find points just made the task a lot more difficult. Under 7.5 to go, quarter number 3. Fitch shows 3 receivers. Vaughn takes the snap, 3-step drop, 5-step drop, goes with the slip screen pass to Donovan Bell-Sullivan, and Bell-Sullivan very close to the marker, and I think he is shy by about 4 yards. Let's see where they mark him. He was tackled down near that 10. Now you're going to say just shy of it, 5 yards, but got back 11 on the play, and Fitch going to stay aggressive, looking for a 1st. They need to get to the Harding 6. Three receivers the Falcons show. 2 to the right, 1 to the left on the far side prior to the snap. Whistles blown, timeout taken by the Raiders. First of the 2nd half, leaving Warren Harding with 2, Fitch with 3. We'll take 1 with them and be back after this. Ty Bartell, YSNLive.com. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we getting all fired up, getting ready for the players when they line up. Think it's time we go and get them lights up. Let them high school lights ignite us. Cause we fighters, coming with a hut like this. Coming with a pick six like that. Gonna be a showdown, so big. Think it's time for football night to impact.
The 30th anniversary of the Great Clips Overtime Report. Friday nights on 21 Sports.
Of course, folks, we thank our friends over at WFMJ, and don't miss out on the overtime report slated for an 11 o'clock start time on WFMJ as they recap all the action from around the area with highlights and more. So be sure to catch our partners at WFMJ's overtime report tonight at 11 o'clock, directly following YSN's Joe Dickey Electric Scoreboard Show. Falcons looking for a critical first down. It's 4th and 5, looking for the Harding 6. Shutout to this point, looking for offense, rolling out to his right. Vaughn looking for an open lane into the end zone, caught just before it, but it's a first down for Fitch. And it was Dan Evans III, DE3, coming up with a nice catch. First down grab, fresh set of downs, and a chance for a score here for the Falcons, a desperate score that they need. Really nice drive for the Falcons. They've almost eaten up 6 minutes of game clock with this drive in the third. First down, 3 to go. First and goal for Fitch. One receiver each way. The handoff goes to Richard. Delay on the handoff, looking for the edge. Richard to the end zone. Did he get through? He did. Touchdown, Fitch. The freshman DeAndre Richard breaks the plane for the Falcons' first touchdown of the game, and they've cut it to 7. And an extra point pending. This is the difference maker currently in the game. The Falcons, if they're able to make the extra point, can make things very interesting going forward. Snap is down, kick is up. Anthony Ruggles has split the uprights for the extra point to be tacked on. Falcons have cut the deficit to 6. Harding to get the ball back. It is 6:14, 6:04. Check me on left in the third quarter of play. Ty Bartell, YSNLive.com, back with the kickoff after this.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
Hope looks different for everyone. It's a doctor who takes the time to understand. It's a listening ear when you need one most. The power of care is nothing without hope. And every service we offer is created with true healing in mind. Find your hope at Meridian.
Big kickoff and a bigger potential drive coming up as the Falcons looking for a key stop to get the ball back. Raiders would love nothing more than to respond with that touchdown from Fitch with one of their own. Falcons enter the field of play ready for the kickoff. Now, a little early for Coach Parker and his staff to bring out the trick plays on the kickoff, but we have seen the Falcons pull it off pretty much each and every season. They practice this in practice and have a couple plays in their back pocket for tight situations. Not sure if it's going to be one right here. The Raiders are somewhat playing for it, and now they're going to spread out. Raiders have gotten burned by that play a couple of times against the Falcons in the last few years and trying to measure up for it. Anthony Ruggles measures up the kick from the 45-yard line. It is booted all the way to the end zone for a touchback. Bring it out to the 20 for Warren Harding. 6:04 to go in quarter number 3. The Falcons eating up 5 minutes and 56 seconds of game clock with their last drive resulting in a touchdown. For the Raiders, they're looking for a touchdown to reclaim a 2-possession lead. Falcons would love nothing more than a stop, needing 80 yards, the field in front of the Raiders for their first drive here of the second half. Both touchdowns coming on the ground for Warren Harding. Javonte Jones, as well as Ryan Powell, the 2 rushing touchdowns for the Raiders. Raiders show 2 receivers to the left. Carry goes up the middle. Tackle gets stopped after a gain of maybe a half yard. 2nd down and 10. Falcon faithful hoping for a stop, getting behind the Fitch Falcons. 2nd down, 10. Raiders have gotten some big runs to break away in this game, and it's benefited their offense. Falcons trying to shut it down. Similar looking set for the Raiders. Back to the ground game for Warren Harding. Up the middle with some key blocking to get 3 to 4 yards. Coming out of the pile with it though, the Falcons. It was a fumble and a recovery. Unbelievable. Falcons force the fumble in the pile. And a hero emerges from it with possession. And if everything stands, the Falcons are standing at the Harding 15-yard line with a chance to tie and potentially take the lead. It was Davion Pritchard, the hit commit cornerback, number 2, coming out with the fumble recovery. A key turnover by the Falcons. From the 15, play action fake. Vaughn wide open to the far side. It's a touchdown. And I believe that went to number 10 for the Falcons, Junie Higgs, the sophomore. He was left all alone on the far side of the field. The Raiders defense lost him. Wide open pass, perfectly executed. Play action fake. Falcons tie it up 13 apiece. Extra point incoming. And the Austintown Fitch Falcons have taken their first lead of the game with an Anthony Ruggles extra point. 14-13, Fitch on front for the first time tonight. Just like that. This one has flipped on its head. Another kickoff coming up after this.
Quality, customer service, and integrity. Those are the 4 words that have driven our success since 1957 at Joe Dickey Electric.
Joe Dickey Electric is one Mahoning Valley landmark business that stays current with the requirements of our customers. Family owned and managed, we are an electrical contractor and energy solutions provider. Every member of our team adds to his or her skill set through ongoing training. Residential, commercial, industrial, automotive, and more. We keep ahead of the needs of our customers with a fleet of more than 50 vehicles and 24/7 emergency service, so you're never left in the dark.
Kickoff coming up here for the Raiders. Now down in this one, 14-13. Kickoff goes to the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Harding back out to the 20. So now Warren Harding, in a span of just over 6 minutes, has gone from being up 13-0 to down 14-13. Trying to figure out what hit them and get back on track offensively. This drive serves as an important one for both teams. First play, going to the ground, finding a few yards, looks like maybe 3 on the carry. And we got an injury down on the field, and it's one of the Raiders. So injury timeout coming up here at Mollenkopf Stadium. We'll stop the clock, be back with an update after this.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update. Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
You can see these players, get to know these names, get to know these coaches at a more personal level than truly you ever did before. And I think YSN has been a big influential factor in bringing us that level of personal connection that we haven't seen any other company truly be able to do. If my legacy goes down as being the voice of the Austintown Fitch Falcons, I can hang my hat on that and be proud of it at the end of the day. My name is Ty Bartell, and my sports network is your sports network.
We sell taste one bite at a time. At Balleria, bite into a taste sensation. Bite into a taste delight. Good food and funny combination. One bite at a time till it's out of sight. We sell taste one bite at a time. At Balleria.
We know when it comes to insurance, you have so many choices. But if you're looking for someone who lives in your community, someone who cheers for your community, and someone who works for your community like you're part of our family, well then please let us introduce ourselves. Hi, we're Heiner Insurance. How can we help?
We're back here out of the injury timeout, able to walk off the field under his own power. Of course, we love to see that. Never want to see any student athlete suffer any kind of major injury here on Friday Night Lights. Harding back to offense, made the first slip. Falcons reinforcement come in to make the tackle and stop it for a shortage. Looks like loss of maybe 1, depending on that spot where they put him. The reinforcements came in just in time to make the tackle and stop that from breaking away from anything more. It's 3rd and 6. Falcons trying to get the ball right back and put it on the Raiders now with the 1-point lead. Trips out to the right. Coleman takes the snap, looks to that way. Flushed out, 3 Falcons get him down and throws it away. Does Coleman? It's 4th down. And the Falcon defense has turned these amps up to 11 in this second half, forcing a 3-and-out and a punt upcoming for the Raiders. From that 24-yard line, 4th and 6, punt upcoming for Warren Harding. And good call by Coach Arnold. You don't really want to take the chance. You're way too deep in your own territory to where if you don't convert this 4th and 6, you really put the pressure on your defense. And if the Falcons are to score a touchdown here, you could still keep it a 1-possession game. But prior to whistles being blown and a timeout called by the Raiders. So Coach Arnold might have some tricks up his sleeve. We'll find out. After this, 4 minutes plus left here in the third quarter. Ty Bartel, ysnlive.com. This time we thank our friends over at Toyota of Warren.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Back here, 4th down and 6 for the Raiders. One back deep, ready to punt. That's Doherty. Puts a boot into it. It's taken in at the 45, looking for the edge. Dan Evans the third, past the 50, and into Harding territory. The Falcons will start this next offensive drive, their third of the quarter. 2 for 2, resulting in touchdowns. 4 minutes, 1 second left to go in this one. The Falcons opened up with a 5-minute, 30-second plus long drive in this quarter, resulting in a rushing touchdown by DeAndre Richard. A fumble recovery inside the 20 from Harding. Fumble recovery by Davion Pritchard of the Falcons. Got the ball right back to Fitch. One play later, Deshaun Vaughn found a wide open Junie Higgs in the flat on the far side of the field into the end zone for a touchdown. One play out of it as, an interception. Does it count? They say no, out of bounds. Intended that time for Dom Perry. It was hit up into the air off the hands of Perry and grabbed by the Raiders, but out of bounds when the catch was made, so no INT, wave it off. I believe that was 35 on the coverage for the Raiders. Falcons go to the ground game on 2nd and 10. DeAndre Richard finding some running room. And he's close to that first down marker. Nice gain for Richard. And that marker going to be very close, and they do say move the chains. First down, Fitch. Place it on the 42, 43. 42 rather, 37 rather, excuse me, of the, here good, 37 of the Raiders. The Falcons move further into Harding territory, handoff to Higgs. Junie Higgs following his blockers and gets past the 30-yard line. Running game starting to find some more success now for Fitch, and this is what escaped him in the first half. At the 28-yard line, the Falcons looking for their third consecutive drive with a touchdown. 2nd down, 1 yard to go. Back-to-back rushing attacks, finding good gains. It's play action. And an interception! What a grab on the INT. Measure it up. Give it back to the Raiders. And that looked like number 27, Tyler Smith, the sophomore linebacker. You talk about a one-handed grab. He read the play perfectly. Measured it up for the INT, and a big swing of momentum. The Raiders have it back. Falcons were moving on the drive, but they were thwarted right there. 2 minutes, 50 seconds left here in the third quarter. And you talk about script writing for this game. We've had about 10 different writers change the script 5 different times. The Raiders have the ball at midfield. Golden opportunity to regain the lead, trailing by 1. Jazz Coleman, single back behind him. 2 receivers out to his right. Falcons with a bunch set defensively. Raiders looking for their first score of the half. Coleman goes to the handoff. In that backfield, trying to chase him out. Alex Smith does a good job forcing the minimal gain of maybe a yard or 2. And that was Javonte Jones scoring a touchdown earlier to Jones. He got the carry there and got a yard out of it. 2nd down and 9, but Harding has pushed into Fitch territory across the 50 now. Coleman from the far side hash mark. Snap, handoff, back to that ground game. No gain to be had, and the Falcons walling up the line and not allowing the run game to get any sort of traction in the second half. It's 3rd and 11. Raiders would hate to have to give the ball back up after getting the turnover. We're under 2 to play in the 3rd quarter, 1:40 and ticking. Falcons trying to get one more play to go their way on defense. Snap, Coleman looking to pass, 5-step drop, fires over the field, finds the catch short of the mark, and actually wave the catch off. Has a nice job on coverage, DeVanzo Tate, the sophomore, on the near side of the field, forces the incompletion. And that's a big incompletion because had that been complete, you're looking at a 4th down and less than 5. And then it's decision time for the Raiders. But now Harding looks like they have to punt with the 4th and 11, even though it's at midfield. It's 1:31 left to go, 3rd quarter. Raiders looking to punt. Doherty in the backfield to do so. And he gets swallowed up and taken down at the 35. Didn't give him enough time. Doherty mishandled the snap as well and tried to make something happen. The Falcons were back there in a blink of an eye and stopped him at the 35, right back into Harding territory as Fitch. Talk about defense and special teams playing a huge role for the Falcons here in the second half. Minute 26 left, 3rd quarter. Falcons trying to get one more score before the 4th. With the snap, the handoff going to Higgs, Junie Higgs. Not a ton of running room to be had that time. Looks like a loss of maybe a yard. 2nd and 11 coming up. Ryan Powell on the tackle that time for the Raiders. The snap, looking to the right, Vaughn on his move and knocked down in the field as looked like Perry lost his footing and got tripped up on the route. 3rd and 11 now for Fitch. Clock stops on the incompletion at 41 seconds here in the 3rd. Raiders now trying to stop the Falcons from getting any sort of score. Following the turnover on downs with the tackle in the backfield of the Punter Doherty. Oh, pressured. Vaughn rolls out, looking for a lane and has to just get rid of it as it's 4th down forced by Warren Harding. The Raiders defense coming up big once again and keeping them within a single point. And a punt likely coming up now for Fitch. Going to try to pin the Raiders back deep. Fourth and 11 for Fitch. Looks like Vaughn is out for the punt attempt. Typically you see Vaughn in these situations inside that 50, and they're actually spotted inside the 40, so Vaughn might try to aim coffin corner here. A delay on the kick as he finally does boot it away. Gave the Raiders their money's worth for a drama as he rolled all the way out to the near side on his right and finally boots it away. 23 seconds to go in the third quarter of play, and the Raiders to take over on their own 28. So for Warren Harding, this drive, again an opportunity for them to retake the lead. They got thwarted after getting that interception to the 50. They couldn't do anything with it or get really any more further ground following that. Couldn't even get a first down. And that's one thing the Raiders have struggled with, is getting first downs and start compiling drives together. They hope to do so with this attempt here. Falcons defense has done a great job here in this second half of play. They've pitched the shutout here in the second half after being shut out on the offensive side in the first half. Fake on the handoff. It's a play action try. Coleman, a lot of time to throw, rolls out to his left tackle. No, evades it. Face mask coming in, though. And it's going to go against the Falcons, no doubt. Number 12, Kylan Foster, trying to bring down the big man Coleman, and got a piece of the face mask in doing so. Free 15 coming up for Harding. Fresh set of downs. That's going to push them forward to the 43-yard line. So push them forward 15. It's what we thought it was, the face mask call. And the Raiders, again, going to be spotted near the midfield, still on their side of it, though. And actually push them all the way up to the 45 from the spot the foul occurred, and it was about a couple yards past the original line of scrimmage. From the 45, 1st and 10, first down marker at the Falcons 45. Into motion one for the Raiders. They go handoff to Powell. Powell, though, tackled in the backfield. The running game non-existent for the Raiders in the second half, and that's going to be a key for them to figure out with the fourth quarter upcoming. Final seconds tick off the clock here in the third, and that'll do it. One final quarter, a final 12 minutes separates us from a winner in this one, and really finding out where all the seeds shake out in Division II, Region 5. Ty Bartel, YSNLive.com. We're back with the fourth quarter of play after this from Mollenkopf Stadium.
Why choose local? Because you live here, work here, learn here, relax here, and celebrate here. 21 WFMJ is our Valley's only locally owned TV station, and our focus is local. Other TV stations don't have that same focus, as their owners are somewhere else. But 21 WFMJ is rooted in the Valley. Local people making decisions that affect your life, right here where you live.
I love the customers, interacting with customers, basically just being there even after the sale. If they have a question or if they have a problem with their vehicle, I'm here to help them make an educated decision. I'm here to educate them on their buying a car. I'm Frank Mascara, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you.
Fourth quarter of play, ready to start. 2nd and 11 for the Raiders. 4 receivers To the right, they go screenplay, blockers in front, but the reinforcements of the Falcon tacklers, the linebacking unit. Plus, Dan Evans III in on that tackle, shortening the gain to the 45-yard line, just a little bit past it. 3rd down and 9 now for the Raiders. Warren Harding, only 1st down in the second half, coming on that 15-yard face mask penalty, ending that 3rd quarter. Looking to earn one of their own. They need 9 yards to do so. The Falcon 45, their target to get. Trips to the right, 2 receivers to the left, empty backfield for the Raiders. Coleman takes the snap, 5-step drop from the 35, connects to the 45, slipping the first tackle past the first down markers, all the way into Falcon territory, past the 40. Big play for the Raiders to get a 1st down. Najee Jones on the catch, number 14. The senior receiver makes a big-time catch and got some yak following it. All the way past the Falcon 40 to the 36, 1st down Raiders. Trying to push their way at the very minimal into field goal territory to attempt to take a lead. Similar formation for the Raiders, trips out near side to Coleman's right. They go to the ground though. Slipping the first tackle, trying to slip the second tackle, and able to get some extra yards following the tackle. First initial tackle attempt, and let's see where they spot the ball. Looked like a gain of at least 2 to 3, potentially more, depending on where they spot him. One official standing on the 30, and if that's the case, looking for more of a 5-yard gain, and they're going to spot him a yard short of that to the 31. 2nd down now for the Raiders. Harding trying to get themselves back in front on the scoreboard. They're showing, again, the same formation as the previous play. Snap a little bit high. The keeper was the running back pal and is taken down at the 30 to force 3rd down. Pardon me, Javante Jones, rather, was the back subbed in last second for the carry. Jones got the handoff and got a couple. 3rd down and 3 now. Falcons trying to get another stop on 3rd down, but one of the Raiders down with an injury timeout upcoming for Warren G. Harding. 10:34 remains in this game. Ty Bartel, ysnlive.com, back with this close one with the Falcons leading 14-13.
Storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
More pockets of rain as we go throughout our
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
I tell you, I was looking at the storm tracker from 21 WFMJ prior to this one. I was thinking we might have a rain out, but storm tracker said no dice, and to this point, they have been right. We have been high and dry here from Mollenkopf Stadium. Injury was to Javante Jones. He was able to walk off the field under his own power. 3rd down coming up. Coleman takes it himself, looking to just push the pile forward for the first, and it looks like he got it. Good take by Coleman. Said, follow me, get behind me, I'll get you there. 1st down, Raiders. Harding from the Falcon 25. They've pushed further into field goal range. The snap back to the ground game. It's Powell. Powell gets tackle. Nice tackle near that backfield. And that looked to be number 5, I believe, Trevion Davis. Check that, Deshaun Vaughn Jr. rather on the tackle. Safety coming in. Two-way player is Vaughn. He's able to make the loss of 2 tackle to Powell, and that was a great tackle holding on to the leg. Had Powell slipped that, he had a pretty open field up the far sideline. 2nd down and 12 now for the Raiders, still searching for a score. Back to the ground game. Again, not much running room. They try to form a pile and push it. They'll get it past the 25. Minimal gain on that attempt. It's 3rd down. It looks like they may have gotten to the original line of scrimmage. 3rd and 10 now. 3rd and 9 officially is what we have the read on the scoreboard. So a gain of 3 on the carry for the Raiders. And with 1 extra point being blocked already on the Harding side, question for Coach Arnold and staff, do they even want to attempt a field goal in this situation unless they absolutely have to? It might be 4-down territory depending on what you get here on 3rd. It's 3rd and 9. Trips are being shown to the near side, right of Coleman. Single receiver out wide to the left. And prior to the snap, a whistle being blown, and I believe a timeout being taken. No, false start rather. I was expecting a timeout coming, but actually the whistle coming and a flag. I didn't even see who it came from. I don't know where the laundry was thrown on the field, but regardless, false start called on the Raiders. Back them up 5 more. It's 3rd and 14, even longer now for Warren Harding. And even worse, that potentially backed them up out of field goal range. So now decision time for sure if you don't get it on 3rd. The snap, looking downfield, trying to get a first, gonna have to take off himself, puts the engine into gear, chased back and just tosses it away out of play and out of bounds. And Falcon sideline looking for an intentional grounding call. No flags being shown. As it's 4th down coming up. But now with no gain on that play, 4th and 14, you're kind of left with what do you do in this situation? You're kind of in an awkward area to try to punt it. It's a really long field goal. You go for it. You need 14 still to not turn it over on downs. But I guess the silver lining is you're in Falcon territory, but they elect to go with the field goal attempt. This is from the 35-yard line, officially a 45-yard try for an attempted lead here for the Raiders. Doherty, kick, snap down, kick is up. It is angling, and it is no good, wide to the left. A missed field goal attempt by the Raiders keeps the Falcons in front, 14-13. They get the ball back at 7:48 and a chance to salt this thing away. Big drive coming up for Fitch after this. Ty Bartell, YSNLive.com.
As Comco celebrated 70 years in 2022, we have much to be thankful for. We are proud of the Comco culture as we serve our customers with Comco Care with our premier customer service, quality parts, and on-time delivery. The partnerships we have with our customers and our community are second to none. We thank you for your continued support. We are proud to be part of this community and will continue to offer great jobs for great people.
Out of the turnover on downs, the snap goes to Richard. Flag comes out on the carry. Richard looks like he got 5, but a holding call on the Falcons might be bringing this one back. So it is indeed a holding call. 1st and 20 now for Fitch. That doesn't do them any favors trying to salt the clock away and get another score on the scoreboard. Big missed field goal by the Raiders on a 45-yard attempt, keeping the score what it is at 14-13. Falcons trying to get a win here and also simultaneously clinch a playoff spot. Rolling out left, toss the short way, looking to get extra yards as it looked like Donovan Bell-Sullivan, and it was the tight end. Bell-Sullivan with the catch, extra yardage. After the catch, he got 8 back. It's 2nd and 12. Good play on first to get about half of them back. You want, realistically, another play to do pretty much the same thing. A little bit of movement near the line, no flags. No official jump. Empty on the near side. They go to the far side with the pass, screen pass, and up and carving through the defense. DE3, Dan Evans III. He gets himself past the 25, shy of the 30. And a nice gain again for the Falcons. They're going to be shy of the first, but not by much. It's 3rd and 3. So 2 plays eat up 17 yards for Fitch, and they have a golden opportunity to try to convert. 3rd down conversion here would be huge in the overall game plan and what the Falcons are trying to do with this possession here in the 4th as we tick under 6 minutes to play in the game. Lined up at the far hash. Trips. Far sideline of the field, empty on the near side. The snap back to the ground game. They go to the weak side, and that no running room to be had as the Raiders stop it near the 35-yard line. No first to be had. The Falcons stopped. It's 4th down and 3, and a nice tackle by the Raiders to get that stop. Play call didn't work out for the Falcons going to the weak side. Raiders had it measured up. 4th down coming up, and the Raiders chance to get the ball back and get themselves a lead or potentially walk it off if they play their cards right. The punt bounces near the 50, and a friendly bounce gets a few more yards for the Falcons as it goes out near that 45-yard line of the Raiders. But Warren Harding to take over near midfield with a little bit over 5 minutes to play, 5:02 to be exact. Important to note, Raiders just 1 timeout left in this one. The Falcons have all 3 of theirs for the second half. But this might be the drive that decides the game, considering the Raiders have just the 1 timeout. Likely going for it at every 4th down forward here are the Raiders. 5:02, first snap, Coleman, keeper, past the 50, into Falcon territory, slipping more tackles, and he gets past the 35. And the Raiders, a big play on 1st down, fresh set of downs into Falcon territory. They roll just inside that 35 to the 33. Trips to the near side, 4 receiver set with a single one far side for Coleman. Chaz Coleman out of the shotgun, takes the delayed snap, hands it off, goes to the right side of the pile, finds some yardage near the 20. It's another 1st down. They get it on the ground, do the Raiders. And whistle being blown, and there's an injury down on the field. It's one of the Falcons, and it looks to be Deontay Stallings. So we'll have an injury timeout, and we'll get an update when we come back.
Everything you need to find a vehicle you love is right here at Greenwood Chevrolet. I'm Tracy, and I have the tools to make buying a car you love easy. Browse our inventory in person or online and find a vehicle that's right for you. Next, I'll get you approved for financing that works for you. Then, drive home in your new vehicle. I'm Tracy, and I have the perfect plan to help you drive home in the perfect vehicle. Find a vehicle you love only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Change. This one word can make you break out in a cold sweat. But with change comes wisdom, experience, and understanding. At Myers Family Insurance, We can help make changes in Medicare, insurance, and retirement a positive experience for you and your family. We've gone through changes, like our new office and new faces to help our family of clients too.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance. Check us out online at MyersFamilyINS.com or find us on Facebook.
We insure your car because some people never learn to park. That's simple human sense.
Ask Holloway Insurance in Columbiana and Lisbon if auto owners make sense for you.
Out of the injury timeout, Raiders go back to the ground. No yards to be had on the first down carry, though, as it might be 1 to 2. Minimal gain for Harding. It's 2nd down and 8. Deontay Stallings able to walk off the field under his own power, so no serious injury for the Falcon Jr., and that's, of course, great news to hear. You never want to see that. So we're glad to see that the health of Mr. Stallings in good order. Raiders hoping their offense in good order as some nice cutting up the field, but again the Falcons minimize the damage to just 2 yards. 3rd and 6 coming up. Raiders in more friendly field goal position now. But after the missed field goal try their last drive, you gotta question if the Raiders are willing to go back to it. The problem is, though, if 4th down is brought up, you don't get it. Likely game over, as Harding only has the 1 timeout left. Snap a little bit high, back to the ground. Up the middle, few yards gone the carry to the 15, but shy of the marker. It's 4th and 3. Under 3 minutes to play. It's 2:50 and ticking, whistles being blown. And it's a timeout by the Falcons, utilizing their first, leaving them with 2. The Raiders have 1, a 4th and 3 coming up with Warren Harding. When we come back, they're in field goal range. Will they kick it? Find out when we get back.
The environment in the hospital can be very intense for a patient. Being able to put a smile on their face brightens up my day. I go to Youngstown State University and my passion is nursing. What I love about studying nursing is that it takes you out of the classroom and into the lab. It's really hands-on. The professors here push you to be your absolute best, so if you want it, you gotta work hard for it. I am so excited about my future. I'm Shantiana and I am why I'm proud.
Hope looks different for everyone. It's a doctor who takes the time to understand. It's a listening ear when you need one most. The power of care is nothing without hope, and every service we offer is created with true healing in mind. Find your hope at Meridian.
Raiders elect to go for the field goal try to take a lead. It'll be coming from the 22-yard line, a 32-yard attempt officially. Little over 2:50 to go. The snap is down. Kick is blocked. Denied by the Falcons. They track it down near the 20 as it goes out of bounds. The Falcons deny another kick attempt and preserve a 14-13 lead. Nightmare on special teams all game long for the Raiders. One first down should ultimately do the trick for the Falcons. Raiders with just 1 timeout left, 2:45 to go in this one. So if you're able to get that 1 first down, you should be able to salt this clock away and squeak out of Mollenkopf Stadium with the 1-point win. There's a lot of time, though, in between that potential possibility and right now you got to execute. Falcons come out on offense, likely going to keep it on the ground. No reason to not to. Stay up on his feet, trying to get extra yards. You got to be careful with that. You play with fire and potentially losing it. But the stop occurs. Clock is running for the time being. And I think Coach Arnold Let's see, the timeout not taken by Coach Arnold. He's going to preserve it. We're taking the snap, back to the ground game, going up the middle, past the 20, slipping the tackle. Oh, what a carry! The Falcons, Junie Higgs to the 50, and a flag coming in after the tackle. And a face mask by the Raiders to be called. So add 15 on top of it from the 50. Falcons, number 43, Cameron Natali, telling the Falcon faithful, get up on your feet. This one's looking good. They move that to the Harding 44-yard line. First down for the Falcons. Clock is running at 1:40. Falcons in no hurry to snap the ball here. And whistles being blown and a timeout being taken by the Falcons. And they take it at 1:02 remaining. First down for Fitch. Only one timeout left for Harding. And that, for all intents and purposes, should do it as long as the Falcons are able to execute victory formation and get a couple of kneel downs. As the Falcons, after trailing 13-0 after the end of the first half, have managed to work themselves back in front with two consecutive scores out of the gates in that third quarter, getting up 14-13, and it's just been a defensive grudge match since then. It's first and 10 for Fitch. 1 minute, 2 seconds remaining. And the Falcons go with the kneel down. And a quick timeout by the Raiders, stopping it immediately. They put some time back on the clock officially, so from 102 to 109 it went. Stopped there, but still, second down now for Fitch. No timeouts left for Warren Harding. And a couple of kneel downs should end this one a Fitch Falcon winner. And more importantly, guarantee them a ticket booked into the postseason in a Week 11 for Austintown Fitch. Breaking the huddle, both teams. Falcons need a couple more kneel downs. And another kneel down by Vaughn and the Falcons. As this win would mark 4 consecutive wins in a row for the Falcons against the Warren Harding Raiders, as their all-time series will go to 19-17 for Fitch against Harding all-time. The win will also put the Falcons at 6-3 on the season. The loss puts the Raiders at 4-6, and depending on how the cards shake out, might have put them out of the playoffs. Of course, we'll have to stay tuned for the computer point rankings and how everything shakes out. But this win also has given the Falcons an opportunity to potentially host a playoff matchup in Week 11. Of course, we again have to stay tuned to the computer rankings to get a final on that. But the Falcons come back down 13-0 after the first half to win this one 14-13 in a defensive grudge match, to say the least. Big win for the Falcons, has their playoff hopes well and alive as they are booked for a Week 11. We'll find out who and we'll find out where in the coming days. But I'd like to thank you all for tuning in and watching this broadcast of high school football on ysnlive.com. To our proud owners, both DJ Yoakley and Brian Scott, we're able to bring this game to each and every person unable to make it in attendance tonight. To our GM, Steve Leslie, who with his work with Bobstein Park Baseball, YSU Football, ysnlive.com, the many hats that Mr. Leslie wears, and we thank him for each and every single one of them. And most importantly, to all of you who tune in and help support these kids, schools, and communities. You guys are really and truly what YSN Live is all about, and so we thank you. If you're right here in the Warren community supporting your Raiders, we hope you enjoyed your taste of ysnlive.com, if it was your first taste indeed. And we also want to remind you that YSN Live is a completely free service to schools. So if you want to find out how to get YSN involved at your school, it's easy. Contact your school's athletic director or email us, in fact, info@ysnlive.com. That's info@ysnlive.com to find out how to get yourself and your school involved. Or if you're back home in the Austintown community supporting your Austintown Fitch Falcons, we want to thank you for your continued and constant support of not only Austintown Fitch Athletics, but also ysnlive.com, or wherever you may be in the sport of high school football. This is Ty Bartell bidding you all a farewell, a good night, and a good season, everybody.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.